again, rivals. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone. Today, we'll be taking an in-depth look at the Geist clan. I have to admit, when I began UR, I absolutely hated this clan. I spent 1,000 credits and chose them as one of my clans, and I got 5 Ericas. I think that would ruin anyone's day. Well, truthfully, Geist is one of the reasons that my first serious deck was Piranhas, because I hated SOA clans, and specifically wanted to try and counter them. Well, I still do hate them technically, but I also have a lot more respect for them now too. I see why so many people are drawn to them after running missions with them and getting them over 500 wins. They function quite differently from the other clans in the game, and the way that they function very much feels like how I imagine a bad guy deck should feel, since Geist are the bad guys of UR after all. Well, today, we'll be covering their theme, a breakdown of the stars and rarities, the cost, clan comparisons, bonus, a breakdown of the power and damage, LDCR, Miss Noel and RB cards, ELO bands, a breakdown of their abilities, a favorite card, best and worst cards, underestimated cards, deck examples, extra info, and then some final clan comparisons. So let's get into it. First, the theme of Geist is your stereotypical evil mad scientist. Their symbol just really makes me think of Red Skull, for those of you old enough to get that reference. Poison, botched experiments, vermin, assassins, evil aliens, and a massive death machine. Geist is full of the kind of things I imagine would be in a 70s kind of comic book. When you look at this clan, you can feel the sinister, if not a bit cheesy, evil coming from it. There's a definite theme, and I really do feel like Geist is the perfect bad guy clan for UR. It's the clan that you love to hate, or maybe even hate to love. Next, let's take a look at a breakdown of their stars and rarities. Geist contains 11 2-star cards, 23 star cards, 14 4-star cards, and 11 5-star cards. It has 14 rares, 16 uncommons, and 19 commons. Of its 56 cards, 46 still retain some usefulness in today's meta, meaning that 9 are no longer useful. Of the other SOA and SOB clans, Geist has the most 4 stars, the most rares, the most commons, the second most RBs and 3 stars, and the third most 5 stars and CR cards. As for the cost, you can see that Geist currently has the second most expensive uncommons, CRs, and unadjusted overall cost, as well as the third most expensive rares and adjusted cost. So the Geist are not exactly cheap, and they may cost up to 50k more than some of the other cheapest clans too. Getting the entire clan may also take a while due to their high-priced CRs. However, they cost approximately 240,000 clints for all of the classic cards. So if you follow my video for daily clints earning, you should be able to easily earn 1,000 clints a day without too much effort. That means it'll take about 240 days or 8 months to collect all of the established cards in the clan with minimum efficient effort. If you're lucky with your daily commons or put in more effort for your DTs, then clearly you should be able to earn the entire clan a bit faster. Of course, this also assumes that you want every single card in the clan. Please note as well that my values are from last summer, so things have changed a little bit since then. Still, the cross-clan comparisons should hold roughly the same. Values may also have the potential to change greatly in the future with the coming of the new ELO system as well. Next, let's take a look at the cross-clan comparisons. Since both SOA and SOB clans focus on removing one of your opponent's either ability or bonus, I have grouped them together. Inherently though, it should still be obvious that SOA and SOB do not function exactly the same, so there should be some obvious differences between the two clans. I've also included Raptors and Skeels, since they are kind of a specialized bonus, removing or negating only specific things. This should obviously result in Raptors and Skeels having higher base stats, since their bonus will be less active more often. So, let's take a look. We should notice a few things right off the bat. First, Raptors and Skeels are both stronger with overall base stats, and that's even despite Skeels posting some of the worst damage scores. Also, Geist leads in nothing. It's also got the lowest overall 3-star and 4-star power, as well as overall 4-star stats. It's in the bottom 2 for 9 out of the 15 categories. Geist struggles the most in the power department, unsurprisingly, but it struggles so much it places them near the bottom for overall stats. Of the clans here, it has the 5th highest overall stats, lagging behind our leader by just over 1 full point. This points to Geist being overall one of the most reliant clans on their abilities, but it also means that they'll have more powerful abilities. Now, all of these clans, with such average low base totals, will be, but Geist will tend to be even more reliant, aside from perhaps Piranhas. We should also notice that Geist does have the second best 5-star base damage, which is for these villains. Can't have an evil villain without lots of potential damage, right? When compared against Roots, the other SOA clan, we should note that Geist only has higher damage for their 2-star and 4-star cards. Roots beats them at everything else. The primary reason for this is the number of unstable cards that are still usable in Geist. Cards like Celsius CR, Darth, XU-Bot or Zubot, and several others. Geist probably has stronger abilities than Roots, though. Since this then makes Geist ironically weak to SOA, I guess that's why they got a stop card. Minimund wasn't just a troll. We should also remember that their abilities, and thus functions, are also completely different, which is not evident in the numbers, but will be in the ability breakdown later. The Geist are villains who want to KO you through shutting you down and having superior power and damage, and lots of poison. Roots is the peaceful hippie clan that just wants to out-life gap you, and has a lot of heal and plus life cards. Think of it kind of like the Lejunta FPC and Jungo PC parallel that I made in my FPC clan video. FPC and Lejunta want to brute force their way into KOing you by controlling your power and using a little pill manipulation, while Jungo and PC just want to heal, DR, and plus life their way to victory. That's Geist and Roots in a nutshell. If you love FPC or Lejunta, definitely give Geist a shot, and vice versa, as they tend to handle somewhat similarly. As for the plus and minus ability splits, it actually doesn't matter since both clans will cancel each other's out. So in these matches, it's all about the stats. Roots will generally have higher power, needing to take 3 rounds, while Geist will have more damage, meaning they'll only need about 2. When compared with the SOB clans, though, to differentiate the two, Piranhas focuses on pill, attack, and plus power manipulation, with a little more base damage, while Nightmare focuses more on damage over time, through plus life or poison, and minus power, with a little bit more base power. Again, we have another generally plus-minus manipulation split between these clans. Now, as for their comparisons with Geist, Geist is going to go head-to-head with Piranhas in an ability duel. It's generally going to come down to which cards you both draw, and if you can maximize your ability usage. Both clans lack DR and have comparable power and damage. Geist will be trying to use its minus power and poison to win, while Piranhas will be using its plus pill and attack manipulation to try and win. Since the abilities remain in play here, this means that Geist will be better off if their power is higher, as explained in the All-Stars video about virtual power and negative power modifiers, and will be stronger in early rounds due to the minus pill manipulation still being useful, and Piranhas not gaining pills yet. Piranhas will have a chance to come back if they can neutralize the early round threat, or through smart pill play, via superior attack or pill manipulation, in middle rounds. So Geist must take advantage of their superiority early, and not give ground as the match continues. This is one reason a card like Jengo is actually great for Geist. It's not as good as Toro, but Toro's banned, so Geist really had nothing, but now it has a late round answer again. As for Nightmare, Nightmare will have less damage, but more power. Again though, it's going to be close. This is almost a mirror battle, except the abilities are active. Geist will need to find a way to prevent Nightmare's nukes, while Nightmare will need to figure out how to deal with Geists as well. Once again, we end up with an ability battle that will change from match to match. Oh, and Geist should watch out for Nightmare since they actually have available DR and defeat cards. Against both clans, it's going to be a battle of attrition. Who draws their bigger starred cards? Which are they? Do you have an all-stop in your hand to shut it down? Can you reduce your opponent's low power below your equally low power? Will you guess right on the 50-50 round 3 and 4 nuke battle? I think all I can say is good luck, and make sure you pay attention for every battle. Finally, as for Raptors and Skeels, I think it's fairly obvious and most people know that Skeels are basically the anti-SOA clan. Skeels will not lose their ability, while your bonus is now useless. If you run into Skeels, your best bet is to look for your chance to make a damage gap. Even then, sometimes it still just may not work out. Raptors can also get pretty wrecked by Geist, since Geist has little attack manipulation, and leaving Raptors with nothing but their base stats to fend for themselves in most cases. So I guess that makes it a little bit more fair. Geist generally destroys one, and is destroyed by the other. One last thing to note, I drew a parallel between the SOA clans and damage clans. I actually find this comparison to be quite helpful, despite having approximately the same level of base damage between the two clans. The reason will become more evident as we move on to the next section about Geist bonus. So let's get into the details of the Geist bonus. This bonus is perfect for the game's bad guys. SOA is quite honestly extremely powerful. It's the kind of ability you'd expect from a supervillain. It has its downsides, like stop cards, but in general, it mows down most things or makes them helpless. The ability that your opponent has to make them special? Gone. Geist doesn't care, and that's how it should be. To make matters worse, SOA means that they're powerful damage-wise. When you play with Geist, you feel like you have all the control, and you're almost unstoppable. Your DR can stop the previously unstoppable. Your heavy hitters are mostly un-DRable, and your power manip is enough to give you complete control. And if you feel like giving your opponent a really bad time, you just use your all-stop and then mow him down. The Geist bonus is perfect for bad guys. You feel powerful and unstoppable, and the only people your bonus can't touch are the superheroes, Skills. The absolute perfect bonus for this clan. That's why I think SOA clans are comparable to the straight-up plus damage clans. Thanks to their bonus, you can almost guarantee that Geist will do all of its damage, making it just as effective as the damage clans. Damage clans will do more damage to trample over their opponent's DR, but SOA clans just ignore the DR and cut straight through it, doing generally a comparable amount of damage over 2 rounds, which is all you should need anyway. They've even got arguably the best one-hit KO card in the game, Mecha Kolos. Immune to SOA abilities, played second, and immune to all but a handful of Skills DR and other SOA clans. If you're tired of actually thinking while playing, just pack Mecha Kolos into your deck and take a break. Next, let's take a look at a breakdown of their power and damage. Many clans have an average of 4 to 5 damage, and because Geist bonus is SOA, which makes them mostly immune to DR, Geist should tend to have average base damage. Their base power should remain average as well, since they're not an attack manipulation clan and need a shot at winning their round against plus 12 attack clans, but shouldn't have so much power that they easily trample normal clans. Overall, we should expect to see a middle-of-the-road total for Geist in both power and damage. So as you can see, Geist base power is, well, let's just say it's not that great. In fact, it's probably their biggest overall weakness. With such low power, you can expect a lot of their abilities are going to be geared towards fixing that issue. Now in reality, the reason their numbers are so low is because their power is very unstable. As before, cards like Celsius CR, Platinum, and Darth tend to bring down the average, but they can also be taken advantage of since their overall damage will be much higher. We should again note that Geist is indeed very reliant upon their abilities to give them the edge that they need to win their matches. Stop cards like Victoria and Flinch will absolutely wreck Geist, because their low power will just get even lower. Much like Bangers, note that Geist is very reliant upon its pills. Pill too much and you're done for, unless you can bluff your way back into the game via damage, because you're sacrificing power for damage. This should also mean, however, that Geist should pair very well with Amber. Because of their low power, I stayed away from Geist for a long time. As someone who grew up in Urban Rivals loving Uluwatu, playing Geist was absolutely unthinkable for me. I took one look at their power and I scoffed, despite regular beatings back when, Uluwatu had very little damage going for it. As much as I hate to admit it, believe me, it pains me to say this. I wish I'd given them more of a chance when I started out. So the best cards will be 7 or more power with a solid ability, like Wardum, Rolf, or Methane. Or 6 power or less with a strong ability, like Toro, XU52, Bristone, or Staffhoust. Keep a lookout for 8 power cards with any number of stars less than 5, because since no other card exists with 8 power outside of 3 of their 5 stars, it's likely to become an instant staple, as long as its damage isn't absolutely horrible. One factor in the good, better, or best cards will be just how good the card's damage is, since Geist must be able to put the pressure on and do lots of damage, since they're almost guaranteed to only win 1 or 2 rounds. So next, let's take a look at the damage of Geist. After looking at the bad power that we've gotten, we can be pretty sure that a lot of the abilities will be power related, which is true. With the average base damage, we can expect a lot of damage based abilities too, including Poison, which is also spot on. Damage is so necessary for this clan. With fewer rounds that you can win, damage can really make up for it. We also need those rounds because we have no DR, which is also a function of having SOA, which will effectively become DR against plus damage or life abilities. You pretty nullify all Poison, Toxin, Heal, and Regen abilities too. Methane has remained a staple for so long because at 7/7 he packs the damage needed by a 4-star in Geist. In mirror battles, he only loses 2 damage, still making him a real threat. This is also why I think a card like Arkan has even remotely been considered viable. That 4 damage can be gold in an SOA clan. Though honestly, I really personally hate Arkan as a card. Take advantage of their 4 stars with 6+ damage, and you'll be headed in the right direction. Also, don't be off-put by the 6 power 3-star cards. Brimstone and Staffhouse are far better than their stats may cause them to look. Your real key is balancing damage and 8 power cards after their ability. The more cards you have with 8 power or more, the more dominant you'll be with Geist. But if you sacrifice too much damage, you might find yourself monologuing, allowing your prey to escape before the laser beam can split them in 2. Why didn't you just start it on over the person anyway? Come on, Geist. I thought you were supposed to be evil geniuses. At the end of the day, we're left with an overall 6-4 with SOA. This isn't bad per se, but it can be a hard sell. You've definitely got to use your abilities to your advantage, or you'll find yourself in some serious trouble. The good part is that you basically don't ever need to worry about DR. The downside is that all those extra pills you're going to need to spend in order to win a round, and spending too much mid-game could end it for you right there. Pick your shots and exploit whatever you can. You are the bad guy after all. Next, let's take a look at the LD's, CR's, Miss, Noel, and RB cards. Geist's LD is Jack's LD. Jack's LD is, well, he's free. He's certainly not bad, and a lot of people discount him before they even give him a chance. He's great for beginners, but there are definitely better 4-star cards than Geist. His major issue is his 6 power. Other 4-star cards like Annabelle or B16 Sestra get the same damage with 8 power, and even if it's conditional, that 8 power is going to be better after 4 pills. Jack's LD's one shining point is his super low minimum, forcing at least 1 pill from the minus attack clans even. Geist currently has 4 CRs: Dolly CR, Miss Twice CR, Celsia CR, and Sigmund CR. Sigmund went first on November 3rd, 2006, with Celsia following on May 31st, 2007, and Miss Twice a few months later on August 31st, 2007. Then it would be over 7 years before their most recent CR, Dolly, would reach CR status on February 2nd, 2015. Sigmund CR and Celsia CR are 2 cards you simply just won't see in play. While Celsia is definitely playable, her base power of 1 means that mirror battles are extremely undesirable. That, and she's unstable. Sigmund, while he was one of the original Uber DR cards, well, his power is just too low. Miss Twice CR is definitely a wonderful solid card. One of her scariest points is her 8 power. Since Geist struggles with power so much, she's an extremely desirable card for that stable, high base power that you just don't see often in this clan, especially prior to Koshiro's release, since your only other option was Wardom. Still, she's a bit conditional, and there are other better 5-star cards in Geist, so she's not so good that many people will specifically go out of their way to get her. Finally, we have Dolly. Dolly was ELO banned before she went CR, and for a good reason. That Poison 2 Min 1 is very nice, especially in a clan plagued with good 3-stars that only have 6 power. You can make it work, but a potential 7-6 by the start of round 4 is nothing to sneeze at. Besides, you're Geist. You only really wanted 2 rounds anyway, so what's it matter if you're dumping up to half your pills early? As for Miss cards, Geist currently has none, thankfully. And they don't have any Noel cards either. Do bad guys even celebrate Christmas? Geist does, however, have 1 RB, Morla RB. Geist also potentially has its 2nd already made, and we're just waiting for its release. Check out UR's Instagram account if you're interested in what I'm talking about. Next, as for ELO bans, Geist has 6 permanently banned ELO cards: Brimstone, Drahira, Mecha Kolos, Rolf, Toro, and XU52. However, ELO is in the midst of being changed around, so this list could change very soon. As a side note, Dolly CR, Leviathan, and Methane have floated on and off the player ban list recently as well. Now, let's take a look at a breakdown of the abilities and conditions. The first thing of note is the lack of variety that we see in a lot of their abilities. Geist is pretty specific in what they do, and they do it a lot. Points of note are that the power manipulation and damage manipulation cards are all pretty much filled with awesome choices. Their pill manip cards are also good choices, but often just a small amount of pills. Nothing game-breaking. Keep an eye out for more SOB all-stop cards. Their current ones are okay, but a new one could still become a staple. I'd rather have a slightly higher power and lower damage personally. Their attack manipulation is also slightly lacking, so look for a higher power card with decent attack manipulation. A good Toxin or Poison 2 with a low min, or a 1 with a min 0 could also jump into staple territory. Additionally, another small decent DR would do wonders. Have you noticed most of my suggestions are basically roots cards? I mean, if you need further proof, just take a look at Kurlix, Ratana or Gurchin, Reverse Gertrude, and Yuki. So basically, we'll probably never see these cards, since they need to keep Geist separate from Roots somehow. As for conditionals, Geist is almost 1/3 conditional, but honestly, it hardly matters to Geist, since you've got SOA backing you up. Overall, SOA clans are the safest to be conditional. We also see quite a few defeat cards, since we're a bit lacking in the DR department for Geist. By and large, though, I've never found myself worried about my conditionals in Geist, so I don't think you should either. Next, let's take a look at my favorite card. My favorite card in Geist is definitely Rolf. I love minus power finishers. The number of times I've led with a 5-pill Cassandra, followed up all in with Rolf Destruction, just glorious. Rolf is a beautiful card. He is a non-DRable Yoshida. The original Yoshida, yo. He may only pack 6 damage, but in T2 that is absolutely all you need, especially when most people don't want to pill much if they see him in your hand anyway. Rolf is great because he's not conditional, so he can be used any round, and he gets the better of the majority of the game's cards in one way or another, so he can be used offensively or defensively. His utility is basically an 11 out of 10, which is why he was deserving of his ELO ban. Pick him up ASAP. Run him with Toro and Survivor T2 if you want to experience the feeling of pure evil power surging through your veins. Next, let's take a look at the best and worst cards in the clan, according to star count and then rarity. Again, these choices are subjective. I promise I didn't leave your favorite off if it's not there. In fact, I know a lot of you are going to dislike my star choices right off the bat, so I'm just warning you up front. If you think I made a mistake, feel free to leave a comment below telling me who you think the best and worst are. Up next, let's take a look at some underestimated cards. If I had to reveal my personal diamonds in the rough, I'd have to say they're B16 Sestra, Balorg, and Ganks. B16 Sestra hits 8/6 stats, the same as Annabelle and Drahira on a leader draw, and more than Dr. Ergo. People mostly just dislike that courage, but it doesn't make any sense why they dislike courage in Geist. Courage is bad because you can plan for it with DR or SOA. But none of those things matter because you can cut through your opponent's ability that's trying to hard counter you with your own SOA. With that out of the way, there's really no leg to stand on for why you should dislike B16 Sestra for me. Balorg is disliked for I think the same reason, but I'd rather take Balorg into a mirror battle than Arkan. I'd rather take Balorg into any match really, as long as it's a courage round or over 4 pills. Minus pills is a virtual plus 14 attack, more than Arkan gets, though only on courage rounds. Ganks is very overlooked in the 3-star slot. Again, I'd rather have him in my mirror matches, but also he can help keep you from sinking to the bottom of the ocean with a lead boot by packing that extra 1 power and not giving you 3 or 4 6-power 3-star cards in one hand. Put him in there with LA-So-1 and you've got some 7-power backup to keep you from feeling power overwhelmed. He can also potentially pack 8 damage for you with a Fury, which no other 3-star can claim except for Darth, another potentially underrated 3-star. Next, let's take a look at some extra information. First, Geist often pairs well with the leaders Amber, Hugo, and Morphin. Amber is great because basically everything's under 8 power, so they'll all get the maximum benefit from her. Hugo is good because he provides a seriously lacking attack manipulation. And Morphin, well, he's always good. Now, since their power is low already, Eric may actually not be quite as helpful, since minus power requires you to pull your opponent under your own for maximum benefits. Several common tactics for Geist are a low pill round 1, followed by a Rolf finisher. Rolf is a staple solid finisher, and Geist can often pill up to 4 on round 1. If they win and do 6 damage, you're basically done by round 2. And of course, the very obvious Reprisal or Reprisal Mecha Kolos. Obviously, this is horrifying, and almost entirely undr'able. This is a 50-50 guess, and all I can say is good luck. Next, let's take a look at some example decks. I'll try to cover a bunch of half decks, and then the basic outline for mono decks. Perhaps one of the best non-ELO T1 half decks I can think of is Mach, Bristone, Methane, and Toro for 13 stars. Prepare to be destroyed. Want a low star deck? How about Arkan, Darth, Dolly CR, and El Laso 1 at 11 stars? Or if you want a T1 ultra low star deck, you can go with Arkan, Ludmilla, Mach, and Zero Dead for 8 stars. If you're looking for attack manipulation, try out Arkan, Balorg, Jax LD, and XU52 for 13 stars. If you're worried about SOB clans, try Balorg, Claws, Leviathan, and Dr. Ergo at 12 stars. If you're worried about SOA mirror battles, look for Balorg, LA-So-1, Minimund, and Hryger for 12 stars. If you want a T2 kind of DT version, try out Minimund, Methane, Hryger, and Koshiro for 16 stars. If you're worried about playing Skeels, bring Bristone, Leviathan, Dr. Ergo, and Drahira to the battle, 14 stars. For power manipulation, go with Platinum, Django, Toro, and Rolf for 15 stars and utter domination. If you're looking to set up Mecha Kolos the best you can, go with Elk, Koshiro, Mecha Kolos, and XU52 for 17 stars. Want a poison deck? Go with Ludmilla, Wormhole, Dolly CR, and Ganks for 10 stars. For a stronger version, switch Ludmilla for Miss Twice CR, 13 stars. If you're looking to control your opponent, go with Balorg, Bristone, Leviathan, and Dr. Ergo, 12 stars. Your opponent won't even know what happened to all of their abilities and bonuses. As for damage prevention, give a shot to Bristone, Claws, Leviathan, and Cassandra for 14 stars. Looking for T1 pill manipulation? Try Balorg, Elk, Staffhouse, and Hryger, 11 stars. For a stronger T2 version, switch Elk for Koshiro for 14 stars. And if you're looking for a budget deck, around 4K currently, try out Balorg, Elk, B16 Sestra, and Dr. Ergo at 12 stars. Now as for a basic mono deck, in ELO, say it should look something like this. Arkan, Balorg, Mach, or Zero Dead, choose one. Dolly CR and Staffhouse. And then Ganks, Claws, LA-So-1, and Leviathan, choose 3. And Animal, B16 Sestra, Django, Dr. Ergo, Hryger, or Methane, choose 2. Make sure you check who's actually banned for the week. If you prefer to have a 5-star card, it's not much of a problem since you've got plenty of playable 3-star cards and some powerful 2-stars too. So take a look at Arkan, Balorg, Mach, or Zero Dead, choose 2 or 3, Dolly CR and Staffhouse, Ganks, Claws, LA-So-1, and Leviathan, choose either 4 or 2, depending on whether you went with 2 or 3, and then Annibal, B16 Sestra, Django, Dr. Ergo, Hryger, and Methane, choose 1 or 2, followed by Gork, Koshiro, Cassandra, or Wardum as your 5-star, choose 1. If you're looking for T2 mono, then go with something like Drahira, Koshiro, Cassandra, Rolf, Wardum, XU52, and then Django, Dr. Ergo, Toro, Gork, or Mecha Kolos, choosing 2. Whatever fits your tastes. Hopefully that gives you a few ideas, and good luck with your deck building. So, which clans will Geist have the easiest time dispatching? Well, perhaps in general, I would say FPC, Freaks, Hurricane, Junks, La Junta, Raptors, and Sentinel. These clans will have difficulty against Geist, either because they can be too reliant on their abilities and have low damage, or because they lack high power and or attack manipulation. By canceling their DR or abilities, you'll be able to out-damage them, and generally pull off a win with just 2 rounds. However, be careful against the following clans: All-Stars, Frozen, Nightmare, Piranhas, Roots, Skeels, and Uluwatu. These clans will stop your bonus or ignore it, which can really hurt you. They may also simply outpower you or force you to deal with their own annoying attack manipulation, keeping you from sneaking in a win or possibly destroying your setup. The key to success, as always, is going to be making sure that you commit to and win the right rounds with the right cards. Well, this concludes my Geist clan review. I hope you feel like you learned something and feel better prepared to both play with and against the Geist. I want to apologize again for how long it took me to get this video out. I had a lot of prep to do and work has been insanely busy for me. But still, I want to say that I'm just really sorry that it took me so long to get this video out for you guys. If you like this video, then make sure to click that like button and share it if you really liked it. I make these videos so others, including you, can learn about and enjoy Urban Rivals. Nothing makes me happier than when you guys enjoy these videos. Don't forget to leave a comment below if there's anything you think I forgot to mention. And while you're there, let me know which Geist card is your favorite. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more of my Urban Rivals videos. This is Xonia, and you've been in the zone.